Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on the Humble Bundle Microids Mystery Menagerie Bundle of October 2024. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and have the opportunity to support the channel by buying a coffee through Buy Me a Coffee or Ko-Fi. Your support will mean the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express. This game brings Hercule Poirot's classic case to life with a modern twist. Microids Studio updates the famous detective story to 2023, complete with cell phones and new challenges. You'll step into Poirot's shoes, examining evidence, interrogating suspects, and piecing together clues with a mind map system that turns our deductions into clear steps, making the mystery more accessible and engaging. The game captures the elegance of the Orient Express with detailed 3D environments, lavish dining cars, cozy cabins, and the hum of the train's movement. Poirot's journey becomes a scenic, interactive experience as you explore each corner of the train, solve puzzles, and encounter a cast of characters, like a Russian princess, a businessman, a colonel, and more, each with secrets waiting to be uncovered. Gameplay balances puzzles, observation, and deduction without the stress of failure, allowing you to retry answers until you get it right. There is also an intriguing new character, Joanne Locke, adding flashback sequences that reveal layers to the mystery. While the linearity and occasional hand-holding may feel restrictive, it is perfect for those who enjoy a smooth, story-driven experience. This game might be light on difficulty for veteran puzzle solvers, but its rich storytelling, immersive visuals, and faithful expansion of Christie's work make it a captivating journey for any fan of classic mysteries. At number 2 we have Syberia, The World Before, a graphic adventure game. You step into the role of Kate Walker, an investigative drifter with an insatiable curiosity for unraveling mysteries. The game's core appeal lies in its hands-on approach to intricate puzzles and detailed interactions with mechanical contraptions. The plot unfolds across 2 timelines, as Kate investigates the mysterious death of a girl resembling her in 2005, and players also control the young girl Dana Rose in pre-war Central Europe. The quaint town of Vegan, set in a fictional country between Germany and Switzerland, provides a well-preserved backdrop for the narrative, complete with ornate automatons and clockwork technology. The game's strength lies in its tactile puzzles, emphasizing experimentation with mechanisms and tests of comprehension. The puzzles are grounded and detail-oriented, avoiding the obscurity often found in classic point-and-click adventures. Interacting with inventions and ordinary objects involves point, click, drag, turn, dial, and shove actions, creating a more engaging and realistic puzzle-solving experience. The story's pacing is deliberate, allowing players to observe and comprehend the world, emphasizing curiosity over haste. The game weaves together the stories of Kate and Dana, providing intimate character development and a tightly plotted mystery. While the production values may lack polish, with occasional stiffness in character animations and uneven voice acting, the overall visual appeal captures the evolution of vegan scenery. The script occasionally introduces clunky exposition, and some story elements, including an alternate World War II scenario, may feel vague and forced. Despite these shortcomings, Syberia: The World Before stands out with its compelling plot, inventive puzzles, and strong protagonists. The game's heart lies in the human stories, particularly Kate's curiosity and longing for meaning, making it a worthwhile adventure for genre enthusiasts. At number 3 we have Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The London Case, an interactive mystery game that dives into Poirot's early years, unraveling a web of theft, forgery, and murder. You're cast in the role of the famed Belgian detective, embarking on an adventure that begins with escorting a valuable painting to England, only for it to disappear amid deeper mysteries. Visually, this game impresses with realistic 3D graphics and atmospherically layered sound effects that add richness to each setting. Poirot's world comes alive with details, from the echoing chambers of a museum to the subtle gestures of characters brought to life by exceptional voice acting. The chemistry between Poirot and Arthur Hastings is spot on, creating a dynamic duo that fans of Agatha Christie's novels will relish. The gameplay balances challenge and accessibility with a straightforward interface, allowing you to interact seamlessly with the environment. There's a helpful to-do list, and a detail counter ensures you don't miss anything vital. You'll solve puzzles by piecing clues together in the mind map, although some icons could benefit from clearer labels. There are minor design hiccups, like the hard-to-read purple menus, but these are small drawbacks in an otherwise engaging experience. Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The London Case, is a satisfying blend of deduction and immersion, suited for mystery lovers and fans of Poirot alike. It's a journey where your own little grey cells will be tested and rewarded. At number 4 we have Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The First Cases. In this game, you play as a young police officer who investigates the theft at the Van der Bosch family home. Hercule Poirot, the legendary detective, leaves a lasting impression on a young Angeline Van der Bosch, and some years later she invites him to a celebratory reception at their manor to figure out who's behind some blackmail letters. Unfortunately, things take a turn for the worse when a murder occurs, and the killer is hidden among the guests. You must collect evidence and combine information to light your path to the truth. The gameplay loop is based on the creation and completion of mind maps. After investigating rooms and interrogating suspects, you collect your truths into nodes and work on connecting 2 pieces of data to form another piece of information until you have enough information to answer your question. The game plays out more as a visual novel than a typical adventure game, and is suitable for players who are more interested in the story and simple logic puzzles. While the game's story is enjoyable, the characters' roles and designs are underutilized and feel quite predictable. Despite the missed opportunity, the twists and turns that determine the course of the case are paced well and keep players engaged. Overall, Agatha Christie, Hercule Poirot, The First Cases is a good game that captures the thrill of mystery solving to varying degrees of success. At number 5 we have Alfred Hitchcock, Vertigo, a captivating thriller that offers a complex and lengthy story with many unexpected turns. As you play the game, you'll be drawn into the well-crafted narrative that keeps your attention throughout. The developers have successfully created a compelling story that feels like binge-watching a gripping TV show, with surprises at every turn and intriguing character relationships. The gameplay itself is relatively simple, mostly involving watching scenes unfold with occasional quick-time events. You'll experience the story from the perspectives of different characters, allowing you to explore various scenes. However, don't expect much puzzle solving or clue searching. The focus is more on progressing through the plot. One of the game's highlights is the use of hypnosis sessions, where the protagonist, Ed Miller, attempts to recover lost childhood memories. You'll have the opportunity to rewind and replay events during these sessions, uncovering hidden truths that are often darker and more sinister than initially assumed. The storytelling approach keeps you engaged and guessing, as you compare Ed's initial memories with what is revealed through hypnosis. While Ed Miller's character may initially come across as obnoxious and reluctant to seek help, the overarching story compensates for this. The game offers other reasons to continue playing, such as the narrative involving the psychologist, which adds depth to the overall experience. Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo effectively builds tension through its superb sound design, creating an immersive atmosphere. However, the voice acting can be inconsistent, and the pacing of some scenes may feel off, leading to awkward pauses. Additionally, the character models and graphics may not meet your expectations, although certain scenes, such as the bridge and the Miller's lakeside home, showcase interesting design elements. Despite its flaws, Alfred Hitchcock Vertigo delivers a story with surprising twists that will keep you engaged. If you can overlook its lack of polish and are in the mood for a relaxed gaming experience with minimal gameplay, you'll enjoy watching the intriguing story of Ed Miller unfold. At number 6 we have Blacksad, Under the Skin, a narrative-driven noir detective game featuring animal humanoids. This game features a ton of suspense and focus on investigations. Taking place in the 1950s, you play as John Blacksad, a detective who is also a cat. Joe Dunn, the owner of a boxing club, committed suicide, and a boxer named Bobby Yale disappears before his career-defining fight. You're hired by Joe's daughter, Sonia Dunn, to investigate the relation between these two incidents. You can decide on the personality of John through choices made in dialogue, which will affect your reaction as you interact with the various cast of characters. You can make John a corrupted detective or one who upholds the law. Needless to say, you'll be doing a lot of talking in this game, necessary to solving the crime. You can explore the various environments peppered with clues that will allow you to put pieces together to solve the case. Finding clues also give access to new dialogue choices to question potential suspects. There are also quick time events where you have to react quickly or face certain doom. When you die, you can simply restart the scene again, like in Telltale's The Walking Dead. In terms of your detective skills, you can look around and observe suspicious items, as well as use your cat senses to find unusual smells, listen carefully to a sound, or highlight things. Combining clues will yield new results. It isn't too difficult, so you can move the narrative along. Although this game has a slow start, this game tells a unique story in a unique world with an interesting main character. So if you like narrative-heavy games, definitely give this a go. At number 7 we have Murder Mystery Machine, a game that lets you play as police rookie Cass, who works with burnt-out detective Nate to investigate crime scenes and solve murders. The game has 8 cases, each with 5 locations to investigate, and an overarching story that ties them all together. As you progress through the cases, you'll uncover clues and connect them to help you solve the case. The game presents every location in an isometric view, and you can rotate it to look for hidden clues. When you find a clue, it appears as a node on your working board, and you can switch to it at any point. The game allows you to connect clues and unlock new dialogue sequences with characters that often provide more information on the case. There's a hint system available to show you the next logical step, but using it lowers your score for the scene. While the gathering and linking clues is intuitive, challenging, and rewarding, the gameplay becomes repetitive over time. The story is also disappointingly linear, which makes the gameplay feel a little bit inconsequential at times. The graphics in Murder Mystery Machine are not impressive, and the lack of voice acting makes the dialogue have less personality. However, the game's interesting interconnected storyline and the nifty clue-filled isometric locations are likely enough to keep you interested. Overall, Murder Mystery Machine is a solid whodunit game that puts you in charge of solving interconnected cases, but it could have been a great one if it had branching paths and higher stakes. At number 8 we have Agatha Christie, The ABC Murders. In The ABC Murders, a video game adaptation of Agatha Christie's short story, you once again take on the role of Inspector Hercule Poirot to solve a series of murders. The game begins with Poirot receiving a letter that taunts him about a murder that is going to happen soon. A shopkeeper is subsequently murdered, with an ABC railway guide left open to the relevant section of the crime scene. Poirot must search for clues hidden around the beautiful environments and solve puzzles to unlock further evidence. After gathering crucial evidence, Poirot sends for one of the suspects or important figures in the case, and interrogates them to obtain further information. These interrogations can be challenging, as Poirot has different ways of framing questions, and your goal is to choose the most Poirot-esque one. Once you have gathered enough information, you use a flowchart to make deductions about the crime, and ultimately identify the culprit. Although the game's puzzles are not difficult, there's a satisfying feeling when you solve them. The game's aesthetic is gorgeous, resembling a pseudo-hand-drawn style, and the game mechanics borrow heavily from Frogware's work with Holmes. Overall, the game is a delightful mystery adventure, and I would recommend it for people who are really into investigative murders. At number 9 we have Yesterday, Origins. An eerie time-traveling adventure that fuses a dark origin story with modern-day mystery. Playing as the cursed immortal John Yesterday, you're drawn back to 16th century Spain under the grip of the Inquisition, where John's former identity, Miguel, endures persecution and torture for supposed demonic ties. Here, Origins shines with intense atmosphere and superb visuals that pull you into the shadowy past, contrasting sharply with John's current life in Paris alongside his partner Pauline. The game's unique narrative spans centuries, intertwining John's fractured memories with modern quests to uncover long-buried truths. The gameplay revolves around challenging inventory-based puzzles that require logical leaps and offer a true test of wits, though some may feel overly complex. The interface is minimalistic, though using a mouse can feel clunky with certain interactive elements, making a controller the preferred choice. Production quality is top-notch, with striking visuals, atmospheric music, and well-crafted voice acting. However, Origins struggles in a present-day storyline, lacking the darkness that made its predecessor a hit. John and Pauline's relationship feels forced, overshadowing the truly engaging tale of Miguel and his relationship with his sinister mentor, Janae. Despite a disjointed story and uneven pacing, Yesterday Origins offers a visually captivating and thoughtful experience. If you're drawn to macabre mysteries and are willing to tackle some tricky puzzles, this game will keep you intrigued, especially if you're a fan of the Yesterday series. At number 10 we have Syberia III, the third entry into the Syberia game series. If you bought this game when it was first released, it would have been 13 years since the last release of the second game. Syberia III doesn't provide any recap, so you'll have to figure out what's happening on your own. The story follows Kate Walker, who embarks on an aimless journey to help the yokel, a group of diminutive nomads migrating with their snow ostriches. She's also running her law firm and a private investigator, which adds to the confusing mess of a story. Along the way, she meets an array of trite characters, including evil hypnotists, a curmudgeonly inventor, a drunk ship captain, and a whole race of noble savages. The writing exacerbates the problem, as the dialogue is full of bizarre word choices, appalling delivery, and occasionally even wrong information. While the game tries to do interesting things with dialogue, allowing you to choose Kate's tone and pick options to manipulate characters, the move to 3D has done the game no favors. The environments are often plain and ugly, and navigating them is a terrible chore. Even the puzzles, which involve satisfyingly mechanical and mostly logical conundrums, suffer from notable problems and bugs. Overall, Syberia III feels creaky, dated, and surprisingly rushed. At number 11 we have Syberia III, an automaton with a plan. A DLC for Syberia III that has you step into the world of Oscar, the beloved automaton from the Syberia series. This add-on is intended as a side story, tasking you with unraveling the mystery of Kate Walker's disappearance. While it's fun to play as Oscar, this DLC has mixed reception due to its extremely brief length. And when I say brief, you'll find about 30 minutes of content, with a significant portion being cutscenes and minimal gameplay. Most puzzles are straightforward, and Oscar's humorous personality does add a charming layer, but the limited interaction often leaves you feeling more like a spectator than a detective. The experience is thin and feels more like removed main game content than a truly separate adventure. Visually, it carries the Syberia charm, but technical issues like clunky controls and occasional performance lag can disrupt immersion. Fans of the series may appreciate the chance to experience Oscar's quirks firsthand. An Automaton with a plan might be a worthwhile pickup in a bundle if you're aiming to complete the Syberia III experience. However, with its limited depth and replayability, it is unlikely to satisfy those seeking a fully immersive side story. At number 12 we have Syberia II, a point-and-click adventure game. The game is the sequel to the successful Syberia, and continues the story of New York lawyer Kate Walker on her quest to find the mythical land of Syberia. The gameplay is similar to the first game, with no chance of getting stuck or getting murdered, so there's no need to worry about constantly saving progress. The focus is on the story and puzzles, with Kate exploring the snowy wastelands of the east and interacting with people and objects to progress through the game. The puzzles in Syberia II are a good mix of logical and complicated challenges, with the balance being just right so they don't become too difficult to solve. However, there are some areas that require unnecessary backtracking, which can slow down the pace of the game. The graphics are beautiful for its age, but there are some compatibility issues with modern PCs, which can be solved by resizing the desktop resolution. Overall, Syberia II is an enjoyable experience, but is not recommended to play without having played the first game. While there's a recap video available, it's better to experience the full story to fully appreciate the sequel. At number 13 we have Syberia, the first entry into the Syberia series of point-and-click adventure games. The game follows the story of Kate Walker, a lawyer sent to Valladolid to oversee the transfer of an Automaton toy factory. The game starts off a bit slow, but the story becomes more intriguing as Kate discovers an heir who has gone missing, and sets out to find him. Along the way, she must solve puzzles, help various characters, and escape danger. The gameplay is classic point-and-click, with beautiful scenes to explore and items to collect. The puzzles are challenging and satisfying to solve, although some require backtracking, which can be tedious. The visuals are impressive for the time, and the music is especially noteworthy, with melancholy strings and masterful scores that enhances the game's old-world charm. However, one downside to the modern digital versions of Syberia is that it crashes in higher resolution, which can be frustrating for players. Overall, Syberia is a timeless masterpiece, and a genre-defining game that any fan of the adventure, puzzle genre, or story-driven games should consider playing. If you're a fan of point-and-click adventure games, Syberia is definitely worth checking out. At number 14 we have Still Life 2, the sequel to the 2005 hit game Still Life. The game is about a serial killer who abducts women and tortures them to death. The killer records his vile deeds on videotape and mails them to the police and the media. In the game, you control two different characters in the same time frame. The main character is FBI agent Victoria Macpherson, who is arrogant, stern, and generally unlikable. And the other character is a television news journalist named Paloma Hernandez. Paloma is kidnapped by the killer, and Vic must find and rescue her. The action switches back and forth between Vic's formal investigation and Paloma's desperate efforts to survive the sadistic games the killer puts her through. The game takes place in a dilapidated old house deep in the woods, which is heavily fortified and effectively cut off from the rest of the world. Most of the story is presented in drab and grey rooms, much like a prison or military bunker. The outdoor scenery is very detailed and quite realistic, but the lavish areas from the first game are missed. The audio visuals are quite nice, and the characters are well designed and move fluidly, but there are several gameplay elements that may be off-putting to some adventure gamers. For instance, there are many time sequences that force the player to reload the game after each failure. Also, there are many ways to die in the game, so frequent saving is advisable to avoid having to replay large segments of the game. Overall, most of the puzzles are logical and fun, especially those involving Vic's field kit. The game has a few technical glitches, and some of the puzzles can be challenging to solve. The inventory system is a pain. Vic and Paloma can only carry a few items at a time, and they must store unused items in lockers and cabinets. But if you're into point-and-click adventure games, this game will be a treat. At number 15 we have Still Life, an adventure game. In Still Life, you play as FBI agent Victoria Macpherson, hot on the trail of a brutal serial killer. As the body count rises and disturbing crime scenes pile up, Victoria discovers that her own grandfather faced a similar case 75 years ago. The game is a point-and-click adventure game, and everything is handled with the mouse. The gameplay is challenging but intuitive, with a context-sensitive cursor that changes into a speech bubble when you hover over a person and a magnifying glass when you hover over something interesting. The graphics are impressive for its time, with pre-rendered backgrounds and full 3D characters that can look out of place against the detailed backdrops. The story is the best part of Still Life, and is fleshed out with full motion video sequences that fit the game nicely. The game is not for younger gamers, as there's plenty of blood and nudity. The puzzles are challenging but sometimes obscure, and the game is very linear, so if you get stuck in one spot, you won't be able to progress at all. The audio is decent, with good voiceovers and suitable music that adds to the creepy atmosphere. Still Life brings some nice aspects to the table, but at the end of the day, it's hardly revolutionary. The game is not very long, with only 7 chapters, and the ending doesn't tie up all of the loose ends. Despite its flaws, Still Life is a fun game. At number 16 we have Post Mortem, a noir-inspired point-and-click detective game set in 1940s Paris. You play as Gustav McPherson, a retired private investigator, drawn back into the game by a mysterious woman. Her sister and brother-in-law have been gruesomely murdered, and she does not trust the police. What starts as a classic whodunit soon spirals into a supernatural thriller, adding a layer of mysticism that doesn't quite gel with the grounded detective work. The heart of Post Mortem lies in its investigative mechanics. Your main tasks involve dialogue exchanges and piecing together timelines by questioning witnesses, which can feel immersive. However, the game stumbles with some unnecessary obstacles, particularly its frustrating tank control style navigation. Instead of following a more intuitive third-person point-and-click, you're in a first-person view that makes backtracking and revisiting characters laborious. The addition of Gustav's clairvoyant visions could have been exciting, but it mostly serves as an underwhelming plot device rather than enhancing gameplay. Despite its charm in dialogue-driven investigation and satisfying voice acting, Post Mortem falters with awkward puzzle pacing and the tendency toward pixel hunting. Unlocking certain endings hinges on precise actions during conversations, leaving you one wrong choice away from missing the best conclusion. While it inspired a spin-off series, Post Mortem feels weighed down by complexity and unnecessary supernatural distractions, giving you an experience that's as rewarding as it is frustrating. At number 17 we have Sinking Island, a classic noir detective game where you, as Inspector Jack Norm, must solve the mysterious death of billionaire Walter Jones on his private island. A massive Art Deco hotel looms as the island threatens to sink, adding urgency as you interrogate 10 suspects, each harboring secrets that could expose the killer. The mandate system adds a unique twist, using your personal police assistant device to collect and cross-reference evidence. Clues, from fingerprints to witness statements, pile up as you piece together a web of motives. This interface, with its checklist of evidence types and compare function, helps streamline your investigation, though it does not eliminate the challenge of sifting through red herrings. Graphics deliver atmospheric flair, capturing the isolation and doom of the rain-soaked island and towering hotel. However, the static mouths during dialogue and occasional clunky English translation take you out of the moment, and frequent pixel hunting to find small details can grow tiresome. You can choose Race Against Time mode, where time limits add tension as evidence can wash away or become unreachable, or Standard mode for a slower pace. But while you encounter intriguing characters and enjoy the satisfaction of detective work, the plot can feel cliched, with twists that are easy to foresee. Ultimately, Sinking Island is a solid experience for mystery fans, despite its flaws. It's a methodical, immersive journey that pulls you in, but does not quite leave a lasting mark. At number 18 we have Nostradamus, The Last Prophecy, a 2007 adventure game set in 16th century France, plunging you into a world of mystery, plague, and astrology. This game has you take on the role of Madeleine, Nostradamus' daughter, who must investigate a prophecy threatening the royal family. Disguised as her brother, César, to bypass the societal limitations on women, you must navigate the delicate politics surrounding Catherine de Medicis and uncover a series of deaths that seem intertwined with Nostradamus' foretellings. Throughout the game, you will explore beautifully detailed settings like Nostradamus' house, filled with period-accurate medical and astrological equipment. The gameplay heavily relies on observation and puzzle solving, often requiring you to select the right tools from an inventory kit to examine items and journals for clues. The puzzles integrate seamlessly into the storyline, enhancing the sense of immersion. Despite its charm, some details, like poor lip syncing and mismatched accents, break the historical ambiance slightly, and the interface occasionally feels clunky. The game includes a few time challenges near the end that can be stressful, though they add urgency to the unfolding mystery. With suspenseful music and a storyline grounded in historical intrigue, Nostradamus: The Last Prophecy is an enjoyable experience for fans of period mysteries and puzzle-driven adventures, offering a captivating mix of history and suspense that feels both unique and immersive. At number 19 we have Arsene Lupin, Once a Thief. Arsene Lupin, Once a Thief invites you into the dynamic world of Maurice Leblanc's classic gentleman thief as you explore Lupin's youthful escapades. Set in early 20th century France, this game blends adventure, puzzle solving, and narrative-driven mysteries. You'll step into Lupin's shoes, master disguises, and craft deceptions to avoid capture, making every turn feel like part of a thrilling heist. Playing as Lupin, you embark on legendary adventures, retold from his own perspective, often with witty and dramatic flair. The game does not shy away from showcasing his transformation from a crafty thief to a charismatic legend. Yet, Once a Thief does not let you off easy. As Inspector Ganimard, you'll switch perspectives, tracking down clues, creating timelines, and attempting to thwart Lupin's schemes. This dual gameplay adds a refreshing layer to the experience, making each story feel dynamic. The artistry truly brings Leblanc's tales to life, with scenes styled of illustrations from vintage French novels. While the captivating art and suspenseful music elevate the experience, the gameplay can be uneven. Players report challenges with mouse sensitivity and occasional crashes, which may interrupt immersion. A few sections can become repetitive due to backtracking, and without a hint system, the game sometimes stalls progress, leaving you stuck. Arsene Lupin, Once a Thief offers a visually beautiful experience that adventure fans and classic literature enthusiasts will appreciate, albeit with minor frustrations along the way. Just know that this bundle gives you a 20% off coupon, as opposed to the game itself. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle serves up a delightful blend of mystery and detective games, featuring gems like Still Life, Agatha Christie: The ABC Murders, and the timeless Syberia series. Early birds get the scoop with exclusive access to Sinking Island and Nostradamus: The Last Prophecy, but it has left some gamers feeling a tad anxious about missing out. While some grumble about the dreaded FOMO, others are all in for this 19-game treasure trove. For mystery fans, this bundle could be the ultimate whodunit deal. Just don't forget your magnifying glass. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe considering buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.